Ravens beat the Falcons, was there any silver lining today? Roddy White scored his 58th career receiving touchdown on the lone score of the game. That is now the most in Falcons history, passing Terrence Mathis. So on a day where there isn't much to be positive about, this was the bright spot. Now on to the bad news. Another lineman down. Peter Cons went down in the first half with a knee injury. He never returned to the game. James Stone came in to replace Cons at center. He's the third center the Falcons have gone to this season. Remember, Cons replaced Joe Hawley after he went down last month. That depleted O-line is continuing to allow defenses to wreak havoc on Matt Ryan. He was constantly being pressured, and the Ravens sacked him 5 times. Over the last 2 games, the Falcons QB has been sacked a total of 9 times. Ryan did not throw an interception today, but had a big fumble. There wasn't much of anything to be positive about on the offensive side of the ball, as the Ravens pretty much took care of business on defense all game long.
They won the line of scrimmage, Vaughn, both with their strength and with their quickness. They beat us cleanly off the edge a couple of times. We didn't pass some games inside, and Matt was under duress by games, and then the one-on-one pass rush as well.
The Falcons defense played much better at times today. Robert Alford had a pair of interceptions, both while the Ravens were in the red zone, but there were still lapses. Alford's pass interference penalty in the first quarter set up the Ravens' first score of the game, so while there were ups for the D, like the pressure Jonathan Massaquoi was able to get on Joe Flacco, the Falcons couldn't sustain it, and that's where Desmond Trufant sees the problem.
You know, we're doing some good things at times, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's about sustaining it for 4 quarters and getting that win. We just got to find a way to win. That's really what it comes down to.
All right, time to check out one of the craziest plays of the day, maybe even of the season. Seahawks at Rams, and Seattle's punting. Now, Tavon Austin, he's going to get the attention of the coverage team here. Problem is, he's not actually the one catching the ball. That would be Sedman Bailey over here at the top of your screen. And after getting a couple of good blocks, he returns it 90 yards for a touchdown. We talk about fake punts, but how about the fake punt return? Unbelievable play. Rams get their 2nd win of the season and beat the defending Super Bowl champs 28-26. No trick plays from the Saints. They were trying to stay alive against the Lions, up 23-17 in this 4th. Drew Brees' pass intended for Marcus Colston is picked off by Glover Quinn. He takes it to the Saints' 14-yard line, and that would be huge for the Lions. Matt Stafford finds Corey Fuller in the back of the end zone for the go-ahead score, and Detroit was able to hold off the Saints in their final possession. Lions win it 24-23. Elsewhere around the NFC South, Panthers at Packers, Green Bay on the board first. Aaron Rodgers hits Jordy Nelson on the play fake, and Nelson takes it 59 yards to the house. Packers up 7-zip in the first quarter. Later, Eddie Lacy going to punch it in from 5 yards out. Packers led 28-3 at the break, and they would never trail. They beat Carolina 38-17. It was do or die for the 3 guys you see in the wall behind me: Brad Keselowski, Dale Jr., and Jimmy Johnson. They all had their backs against the wall at Talladega. Win and they move on to the next round of the chase. Lose and their championship hopes were over. It was a wild finish for the Geico 500 at Talladega. Let's pick it up. And on the first attempt at the green-white checkered finish, Keselowski and Johnson near the front, but Dale Jr. stuck in the middle of the pack, and he gets caught up in this crash. The 88 ends up on the infield, and Junior's championship hopes are done. Second attempt at the green-white checkered, and Keselowski restarts first. Johnson trying to make a move, but he can't get out front, and Brad Keselowski holds off the field to win, and he earns himself a spot in the next round of the chase for the Sprint Cup. Johnson, the 6-time champ, is also out of contention for the championship. College basketball is back. The Georgia Lady Dogs were one of the many teams across the country getting back out onto the court over the last couple of weeks. UGA got a little extra practice time this summer when the entire squad took a trip overseas where they played in Italy. Head coach Andy Landers is heading into his 36th season in Athens, and he is as giddy as ever.
You know, I've always felt like this time of year when you start practice is the most exciting time of the year for basketball coaches, but then the tournament rolls around at the end and you experience a different level of enthusiasm.
And I've got two very important polls behind me. To my right, we've got the team of the week, and to my left, we have the game of the week. You got to get to high5sports.com to vote. Team of the week winner will get a visit from me, and as always, Bill Hartman will be at the winner of the game of the week. Deidre.